Hello, Shirahama. Good morning, everybody. Here we are for game 2 in the women's division. We're going to be watching Singapore playing against the Philippines in this game, second game of the day, last game in the pool play for the women's division. And I'm here, my name is Sofia Pereira. I'm here with Liam Grant this morning. How you doing, Liam?
I'm doing pretty good. Excited for this game. We just had an incredible matchup in the mixed division pre-quarter. Japan mixed one, taking the win against Korea. Boom. If you haven't watched that game, go back and look at it. It was fantastic. But our focus switches to women's division now, where we have the Philippines, who are undefeated, going up against Singapore, who've only lost one game. So it's actually the top of the pool going head-to-head.
Very exciting, and I believe that Singapore's only lost one game against Japan, who lost one game against the Philippines. So we might have some interesting results coming up. We're really looking forward to this game. We can see the girls are warming up. It's been an interesting morning meteorologically wise. We've had a little bit of everything, bit of wind, bit of rain. It's now quite nice. The game is about to start. And we will see if these two teams will get to play in more steady weather conditions. The last game, they had to adjust, I think, to 4 different climates throughout the 45-minute game. So these girls from the Philippines, it's a great team. They're probably the team from the Philippines that represents the whole country. The girls come from everywhere in the country, and they've been working really, really hard to get here, and it shows. They're in great shape. They're really, really fast on the sand, and the Singapore girls are a perfect match for that. They're also extremely fast on the sand. It'll be interesting to see how these two teams play. They're probably the most similar type of O between all the women's teams, but we'll see that how they adjust to this wind picking up again a little bit. Some umbrellas, bit of rain out there, but nothing serious at this point, and the girls are lining up. Philippines is going to be starting on defense. They're putting on a strong D-line. They have Christine out there. She has some experience. She was in Dubai. You can see her right in the middle. She also has the height. We saw her do some amazing defenses yesterday. Everybody looks very happy to be here. What a great pull. What a great pull. Nice defensive pressure. Gets the disc up a few yards. Oh, poppy throw to the line. Centering it again. Nice movement by Singapore. Pretty pass. Oh, an unfortunate drop. An unfortunate drop by Emily Wong after playing a beautiful point. And now the Philippines has a chance for a break. Early on in the game, just to Christine. Safely back to the dump. Nice to see the support on the sideline and to hear the support on the sideline from their teammates. Nice cut up the line, unfortunately not getting completely free. And you see Christine again, she's that experience. Look at that. Nice and safe. Nice try. Just a little bit too clippy. Hard to get to. Singapore has a chance to score again.
Yeah, looking for Christine Klutz there. Clearly the tallest player on the field. Coming out of East Timor. No Ultimate Federation there, so hops in with the Filipinos. But Singapore with the disc back now, looking to hold their offensive point.
Yeah, Christine played in Dubai with the Philippine women masters team. This is the first time the Philippines is actually putting out a women's. Oh, nice save. The Singapore squad there's not much option there forward. Good defense by the Philippines. Disc is moving all the way across the field now, looking for, safely playing it to the center. It's very nice to see that when they don't see an option, they immediately center it. There it is on the line again. Bang with the disc and an unfortunate drop. That's twice we see. That's the pressure of this game. Beautiful movement. Unfortunate drops in the end zone.
Yeah, it was Fiona Pang with the beautiful around backhand break. It was a great throw, but couldn't be reeled in. That would have been a great goal.
Oh, that is an attempt to, well, sometimes that's the Huck and D kind of.
Yeah, I think a hopeful throw there.
That was a
Christine.
hopeful throw. They saw Christine there with her visor, knowing she's an experienced player. Just came a bit short as well. And Singapore has a chance to score again, moving the disc nicely up the line. Looking for that. Continuing to move the disc up the line, now looking for that forward pass. There it is, up the line, and this time reeled in. Beautifully caught for the first point of the game to Singapore.
I think that was Thumb for her 10th goal of the tournament. I believe now leading the team in goals.
At this point, you got to look for your. There is a reason she is a top scorer. She knew exactly what to do. Disc was moving nicely up the line. That was a very nice cut. Very nice bringing down the disc.
Shout out to Singapore for actually having all matching hats, as is WFDF regulations. A lot of teams wearing lots of different hats, but it's good to see. Looks very official. I like the gray on gray hats, gray shorts.
Yeah, these shorts are great, actually. I like they're both teams, but I like the Singapore outfits. The shirts look great.
Yeah, shout out to Coach Fang on the sideline, involved with the AO All-Stars. We also have a few Black Widows representing.
Disc coming in on the brick line, 15 meters, so that's a third of the way up the field. Gaining that advantage can be good. Looking for that, gaining a low. I spoke too early. Just an unfortunate, bounced right off her. And now Singapore has a chance to break, moving the disc. Oh, and another turnover. Disc is now online. Let's see how the Philippines responds here and how Singapore tries to shut them down. Nicely centering the disc and looking immediately. Very nice movement of the disc across the field. Well played. Good patience by the Philippine. Good pressure by Singapore. Looking for that down pass, not getting it nicely, safely centering the disc again to the handler. Oh, and a pick is called. Looks like there's a lot of people. They want to do a little bit of a mosh pit in the center there. And a pick was rightfully called.
Yeah, the circle stack is not one that is very effective in the sport of ultimate.
Nice. Putting the disc back in play and still looking for the forward option. Not there. Very good pressure by Singapore on the defense. Not making it easy for these girls to find receivers. You can see there. Oh, and they get the D that they so hard work for. Now really quickly start to move the disc down. See if the Philippines can shut this down.
Jian So, like a thief in the night there in the back of the end zone, read that one incredibly well, rushed out and got the play.
Makes such a difference when you put the disc back on really quickly. Oh, nice grab, nice save. That could have been a turnover. By Yanling Tan, that was a great grab. Oh, however, that turnover does come through and the Philippines get the disc back and the chance to even it out. What a great game so far. We saw some long points last game, Liam. I know we had 1 point, I don't know how long it was, but it was long. Oh, look at that, immediately. The decision was a good decision. She did have the cutter, however, just went a bit too low. And again, Singapore gets a disc back and an opportunity to break.
Yeah, we've actually streamed both of these teams already and haven't watched them before. This is a little unusual, maybe turning over a little more than I expected. Just trying to settle themselves into this early morning game.
That's right. Trade night last night had some interesting drink with 9% alcohol. I wonder if that has any influence. Great. Oh. A lot of turnovers in this point, and that's it. Philippines makes it. They managed to shut down that break and bring it to an even 1-1. That's the perfect way to start this game.
Both teams managing to hold their offense. Neither that cleanly, but a goal's a goal, so we're tied at ones here.
You can hear that whistle calling the girls on the line. There's a amount of time limit of how long you have. We haven't called a timeout to put the disc back into play. I'm sure the Philippines is trying to get their strongest D-line on and discussing their D tactics to try and get this break early on in the game.
So the Philippines go through some of the results of the tournament so far. Won their first game against Chinese Taipei 13-1. Beat the Japan national team 11-7. Closest game was against the Veggie Griffins, winning 10-8 there. I believe the Veggie Griffins will have a few more players to the roster for today and tomorrow, so that will be a help for them. And then they just beat the Australian women 12-4. So undefeated so far, the Philippines, but I think this is going to be a very, very close game.
This is going to be a close game. These Singapore women are responding quite well. They play similar type, very quick on the feet and on the sand. That will make a big difference. Great cut. Great cut. Getting a lot of yards there. Great movement of the disc by the Singapore women. Oh, and another unfortunate drop. I wonder if that disc is wet or something. Very nice movement of the disc. Let's see. Oh, look at that, putting it immediately out there. She can definitely... I don't think anybody was expecting that disc, to be honest.
Not too many people chasing it down. Everyone gave up pretty early on that one. It actually had a little bit of hang on it.
It did. I'm surprised. I don't think maybe they didn't see it or weren't expecting it. Nevertheless, oh, nice cut. Oh, look at that. Just, she was open. It's a nice attempt. Oh, that was an arm block. Wow.
Yeah, Singapore get the disc back.
Singapore get the disc back and have a chance to score. Keep their play. Nice playing, putting the disc in the center of the field. Bobbling the disc slightly. Let's see if that comes in. Very nice point for Singapore.
And that is Emily Wong getting her goal. She has played in Australia before as well, so she was happy at the start of this tournament to get a win over in Australia. That was her first, I think, streamed game of the event.
It's always really tough. Yeah, I think that was...
feels like years ago.
Feels like years ago. Well, we've done a lot of games, Liam. But that was a great game, too. And Emily Wong has been showing her experience in this game as well, playing great handling and then cutting into the end zone when needed. And has great plays. And we see the large Filipino squad on the sideline here with their coaches. Here's Jude, who's done a great job for Beach Ultimate in the Philippines from a competitive perspective as well as with Spirit of the Game. He's done some really interesting stats with Spirit of the Game as well, and he's done a lot for Beach Ultimate and continues to do a lot for Beach Ultimate. The last time I saw Jude in Hoi An, he was actually playing at almost 50 with the men's.
Fiona Pang with that incredible
nice pull. What an incredible pull right into the corner. Nice movement of this, getting it out of that back of the end zone pull. Oh, just too low. Uncaught. And now Singapore with a chance to score the third point of the game. Quick moving the disc, waiting for that forward cut, very patiently and safely moving the disc forward. We're starting to see some, that was also very unfortunate actually. Good positioning on defense by Philippines to try and shut that down.
Yeah, I think that was the best pull of the tournament I've seen so far by Fiona Pang. Got to chat to Fiona a little bit yesterday. Explained to her that her name is Irish. She said she knew it was European, but had to demonstrate by showcasing my 15 or 20 friends on Facebook who are also called Fiona from Ireland. So she eventually believed me. We actually have a Fiona, an Eileen, and a Claire on the field, which is unusual for a Philippines versus Singapore game.
That's right. They're stuck in the end zone. Hardy. Oh, that's a bit of a... They're stuck in the end zone. Very... Hardy, yeah, maybe, I think that's probably your teammates' names on the mixed Irish team. Claire, Fiona, is that right? Claire, Fiona?
There's definitely a Claire, Fiona on the Irish women's team. Definitely in my family. I have cousins called Claire, Fiona, and Eileen. My sister is Eileen.
Oh my goodness, is Singapore gonna score? Right through her hands, that went right through her hands. I don't know if she was expecting it. Let's see if the Philippines can get out of this. They still haven't gotten out of that amazing pull. They still haven't gotten out from their end zone. Now we see somebody charging deep, and the disc is put. See if she can get it. She's got the height. Great positioning on D, just making it very difficult for her to read that disc and just get it. Slight misread on the disc as well. It's floaty. The wind is a bit wonky. If you look at the flags, some are facing one way, some are facing the other way. So that's not helping.
But I like that defensive strategy from Fiona Pang. She knew she was one-on-one with Jane Varquez, so just ran to the receiver and stood beside her. No need to really read the disc. You just want to put pressure on that catch. You don't have to catch. You just got to stop them doing so.
That's right. That's right. Sometimes it's even better than macking it into their hands. Philippines now is at least gained some yards in his midfield and beautifully puts the disc. That was a very nice cut. Throws it to her hand. They're still on her knees quickly. Nice grab. And beautiful assist. Nice grab and beautiful assist by the Philippines. That was Angelique who did that assist. Very nice. Well played, managing to keep the game even.
Yeah, I was getting tired just watching the players run around. Has to be said, they look like the two fittest teams at the tournament, but still I think improvements to be made in these first 4 points on catching, concentration, throwing. I know they can do a lot better in that regards, but they are running themselves ragged out there on the sand.
That's right, and I have a feeling it's also the pressure in this game to win this game is causing a lot of the unforced errors, probably with also it's the first game of the day, and the teams are very matched as far as their speed and capacity to do really intense shutdown D, and that makes it more difficult. I don't think any of these two teams have faced It's sort of like facing each other or facing themselves in a way out there. There we go with a pull right into the center of the field. Disc is moving quickly to the line. Swing looking for something forward, centering it back. Nice handle movement back and forth, just waiting for the forward. There it is. Great down the line cut. Just slightly too high. That was actually a very nice disc. It's just slightly too high. The wind picked up a little bit. Philippine gets possession and turns it over, unfortunately. Back into Singapore. Possessions back to Singapore. Girls lining up in a 4 vertical stack. Oh, here she's the handler coming back now. Nice defense. Nice defense. See if they can maintain that. Well put to Christine in the middle there. Typically, Christine catches the disc and puts it back, and again, a little bit too high.
We've seen a lot of players throwing on their knees in this game. I do quite like that. No, catching on your knees, you see your handler coming, just pop it up. No need to stand up.
It's actually quite quick, and it makes it very difficult to defend, doesn't it? They just seem to catch it on their knees and quickly pop it into the handler's hands.
Now, technically,
very
if
nice.
you then fake that throw, you've established a pivot point being your knees, and you're not supposed to get up, but getting it off the first time anyway.
You can even throw sitting as long as you don't move. You have your pivot point can be your butt. That's looking for that forward receiver, but not getting it. Philippines putting on very nice defense. Somebody striking deep and hoping for the disc. Nope, she's not going to put it there. Again, amazing defense by the Philippines, forcing this turnover. What a game. That's just so exciting, Liam. So we might have, that might be interesting. We might have a 3-way tie in the women's division.
Very well could have. Either way, we'll be seeing both these teams, I believe, in the semifinals.
Oh, such a nice layout. That was so quickly put. Well done. What a long point. Well-deserved point by the Philippines.
I believe that is our first break of the game.
That is our first break of the game. See the girls lining up again? Philippines just managed to get the first break of the game, and they're trying to get the second one, I'm sure, and Singapore is going to answer by putting on their strongest O-line. A lot of positive energy around the field. Pull goes out of bounds around the brick. Oh, and we see somebody on the ground. There's an injury.
Trying to see who that injured player is, but hard with all those crowds. They're calling for a medic.
So that is Yanling Tan, who's down on the ground. And hopefully she's okay. We're calling for a medic. So the time will likely be stopped if it takes longer than, I think it is 1 minute, Liam, is that right? The time will be stopped and added, so it won't take away from the 45 minutes of the game. They're calling for a medic.
So it looks like we will have a stoppage here, folks. Akira Yamaguchi there with the umbrella signaling for a medic. who I'm sure is on the way.
She's been taken off the field. Look like she's okay. She's sitting, which is always a good sign. And I believe the game will be back in progress quite soon. Singapore bringing the disc back into the field. Girls setting up their offense with a horizontal stack with 2 handlers and 3 cutters, and we see a really nice cut, a really nice disc, a really nice catch. Talk about just conserving energy for your offensive players.
Ealing Ho with that buttery biscuit, the end zone, straight to Fiona Pang. That is the offense they want to play. That's the cleanest point we've seen so far. Great way to answer back after just being broken. So yeah, Fiona Pang, I think one of 2 Black Widows players on this roster. Alicia Chua, I think, also played for Black Widows. They just competed in Colombia not so long ago. Also competed at the US Open last year.
And how did they do?
They did great. They won Spirit.
Oh, that's fantastic.
At US Open. I'm pretty sure about that, so.
And speaking of Spirit, this is the Spirit at this tournament has been amazing. I think the average lowest score is at 10. I mean, it's fantastic. In a self-officiated sport, just shows how much it works to give the responsibility to the player to know the rules, be fair, have a positive attitude, communicate respectfully. And here we go. Philippines getting the disc again, going off exactly almost the same pull as last time, going out of bounds around the brick line. Actually, this one's a bit, yeah, goes out of bounds around the brick line. She's coming into the middle. Philippines playing with 3 handlers. Oh, nice second attempt. Unfortunate, did not come through. And the Philippines is on D. Singapore takes the disc. Chance for, oh, there was a foul called. The flight of the disc looked like it hit her arm. It just went straight down into the ground. I think it's an uncontested foul. Uncontested foul, Stahl coming in at 0. Oh, nice pressure on defense. Managed to get that disc off, looking for a receiver centering the disc. Again, we see that. No need to stand up when you throw. On the line, looking for a receiver. Great pressure by the Philippines and managing to get the disc back. Putting it into play quite quickly. Well, oh, nice catch. They're checking if it was in or out. I think the ladies are saying it is in. I'm not sure.
Incredible catch either way. Whether she managed to stay in bounds, yet to be determined, but did incredibly well just to get a hand on that disc.
After it flew off her. Looks like it's in. Looking for that cut up the line and getting it, knowing exactly what. There we go. Beautiful. Really nicely done. Saved the day. Very nice point.
So that is a hold for the Philippines. Just one break in this game so far. from the undefeated Filipino women. But good pressure from Singapore. They're staying with them. Two very similar styles, these teams.
Indeed, very similar styles. And lots of legs also, large rosters. I think the Philippines have a slightly larger roster. Basically, it's almost the same as 16 to 15 players, so one extra pair of legs. You can see Jude talking to the ladies, really wanting that second break to make it a 2-point up and to make it a safe advantage. And I'm sure that Singapore is going to put on their strongest O-line and score this point. Disc in the center, safely swinging it. Just unfortunate again. Slightly high, unfortunate, looking for that quick pass forward, well grabbed. She's leading her receiver. Oh, that was a great D from behind without contact. Wow, just reaching out perfectly in front, managing to keep possession for Singapore. What a great D. Well caught. She's got somebody striking deep. It might just go very well. No. The curve at the end, the wind just unforgiving there. Philippine gets a chance to break again. Good defensive pressure. There we have some nice cuts. A little bit of a bobble on the disc, but manages to keep possession. And again! There might be some contact on this. I'm sure they can communicate it and figure it out. So it's a retracted foul. This is one of the most, for me, one of the most beautiful things in ultimate and beach ultimate. Singapore has the disc possession again. Oh. Not a long-lived possession, unfortunately, and now Philippines has a chance to make the second break of this game. Looking pretty. Oh, and again. That disc must be hot or something.
I think both teams are doing the hard stuff really well and not executing the simple catches, which is unfortunate for this game, but the level and intensity is so high otherwise.
It's a great game. These unforced errors, I'm not sure, it's partially, probably it's an early morning game. Very nice gain, a lot of yards down the line. Let's see if they can make that now into a point, a well-needed point for Singapore. Some cuts up the line. Oh, and again we see this three stationary almost receivers there. And now again, Philippines has a chance to make a break again. And a well-called timeout. Time sometimes to just get together as a team, take a couple of deep breaths, and quickly stop those. They're almost like viruses. They're contagious. I don't know if you find that in your own practices with your team, but I find that sometimes practice is going great, really intense, and then as soon as one person drops, that's it. It's almost like propagates. Anyway, back to this. Great game so far. Well-called timeout.
Yeah, good opportunity to do some shout-outs here. WFDF supporting and promoting the global advancement of this sports and spirit of the game. VC outfitting the world's best ultimate player since 1998. I beg your pardon. Discraft, the world leader in disc sports. Friction gloves. Be prepared for rain, humidity, cold, wind, and more. Universe Point cleats, specifically designed for the great sport of ultimate. Greatest, the #1 bag designed by and for ultimate players. And Eric.
Fighting cancer through early recognition, and BULA promoting the spirit of the game and beach ultimate worldwide. And a little bit about Eric. Even on these non-sunny days, we should all be putting on sunscreen. Early recognition of cancer is critical, and especially in youth, where they are often afraid to talk about the signs and symptoms of cancer with their colleagues or with their parents because they're ashamed or just young. But also in everybody, just prevention is also critical. So a shout out to these two teams. Here we go. Well called timeout by the Philippines, hoping to get their second break of the game. Offense.
I think Eric have actually done some work in the Philippines as well. I've heard about some clinics there.
They have done some great work in the Philippines and some clinics there. We had dinner last night, I think, with somebody who was involved with Eric. Eric has done work globally, but they're doing some work now in Colombia currently as well. Disc comes back into play. Singapore's trying to shut down. Doing a good job, but girls managed to find. What a nice pass, gaining a lot of yards there. Well, great vision. Somebody striking long now. There seems to be options for the Filipinos. What a pretty point. Well moved disc.
That is the second break for the Philippines to now have a 2-point lead in this game. Great timeout to help them settle their nerves, regain some energy, and bang that one in without turning over.
You can see Philippines celebrating. It's so great when it works out that your timeouts actually make a difference. That was a conservation of energy point. 3 pretty passes straight into the end zone for the second break, 5-3. I have no doubt the Singapore girls can do it, but it's keeping their heads up and continuing to play their play and just stopping those unforced errors on the catches mostly. So there's a time limit to how long you can put the disc back into play. It seems like Singapore it's not a timeout, so you can hear the volunteers on the other scorekeepers on the other side of the field, 2 whistles saying, okay, get on that line. Strong D line. There's Christine again with her tallness.
Nadine taking this point off after scoring that great goal.
Strong D line again. I think they're hoping for that third break, Liam. This is an important point for Singapore. We see some quick movement, initial movement of the disc. Philippines is doing a great job shutting down. Oh, but they managed to get the disc off. The handlers are playing great between them. Nice up the line cut. Great. There we go, just a bit too clippy though. That was unfortunate. Decision was right. I mean, it had a really nice cut, but a bit too.
Earlier on this game, we saw Philippines forcing backhand, which allowed Ealing Ho to send that big backhand toss. So now switching to flick force.
Always nice to change things up. Philippines now has a chance to make. Oh, somebody just. I think there was some contact there. I think they're discussing a contact or whether there was a contact. You can hear the sideline saying, put the disc back in play, time, time, time. Here we go, we hear that whistle, get that disc back into play. Quickly come to a decision. Contested foul. Can hear people yelling, time, time, time. Let's get the disc back in play. Here we go. Disc is in play. Good defense by Singapore, but a great cut. Oh, now Singapore has a chance to score. This would be such an important point. And we see again, number 22, Yeling. She's done some great stuff this game, picking up the disc, looking for her very nice cut, gaining a bunch of yards. She gets the disc again, beautifully puts it. Lots of patience here. Again, Yeling with a disc, beautifully gaining right almost at the end zone line. And there we go. What a pretty point. And the woman of this point, number 22, Yeling, just being there and passing the disc back and forth between the handlers until there's a really nice cut just upfield.
Second goal of the game for Fiona Pang. Good way to answer back to that Filipino break, but they still trail by 1.
Still trail by 1. Let's see if they can get this break. This would be a very nice break for them.
They've had plenty of break opportunities, but have not actually gotten a break against this Filipino team just yet.
We're starting to see a lot less drops and unforced errors as well as the game's going on. People are waking up and getting into the game. Starting to rain slightly. It's a sunny rain almost. It's a bit sunny and a bit rainy.
Here's a fact for you now.
I like those.
No Filipino team have lost at this tournament yet. Every Philippines team are undefeated so far at this tournament.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. Disc in the corner there, moves forward. Centering it. Nice cut, nice movement by the Philippine girls. Just a little bit overthrown, and so Singapore does get the chance for that break. Girls are slowly walking to the disc. It's going to be a wet disc. A wet, slippery disc. Picked up close to the line, looking for the cut. Philippines putting on strong, strong D forward. Very nice movement. And you have somebody striking long. Nope. Nice cut. Nice call for the disc. Centering it again. Oh, there we go. Gaining some yards. What a nice... Oh, just slightly overthrown. Unfortunately, another turnover. Alicia has been doing some beautiful cutting. This just perfect cut again, just slightly too high.
Yeah, and Jermaine Lee taps her chest saying that was my bad. She'll lay that one. She's going to try and get it back for her teammates now on defense. Have you ever been to Singapore?
I have never been to Singapore. This is the first time I am beyond the Asian side of Istanbul.
Yeah, it's an island nation just off southern Malaysia. Population of about 5.6 million people.
Great pressure. Somebody striking long, and again, we've seen this a couple of times. It's not working for them when somebody strikes long, and the disc, the decision is right, but the execution's just not been great. Just a bit too low, and I'm not sure if it's the wind or what it is, or if there's some kind of disc magnet in that sand pulling the disc down.
So keeping on the theme of geography, so it's about 5.6 million people in Singapore. It's 105 million people in the Philippines, so an extra
How
100
many?
million, 105.
Playing beach ultimate all year round.
And Singapore is essentially one big island, while in the Philippines about 7,600 islands. So they got more islands, more people, and more scores on the board right now, but
But they're
Singapore looking
moving
to
the
even it up.
Singapore, they're looking good. Looking good, keeping that disc moving between the handlers. patiently, it seems very patient, throwing not much pressure on them on the disc there, and there we go. They managed to even it up. Beautifully, well-deserved offense.
Yeah, and that is the first break of the game for Singapore, tying this one up. Philippines still have one break in the bag more, though. So they're going to try and get another one back before halftime, Singapore.
One at a time, Liam. Very well played. So back to Singapore. So one big island versus how many small islands did you just say?
I think it's 7,600 and something in the Philippines.
Wow. It's pretty impressive. Lots of sand.
Yeah, it took me a while to count them all, actually. Yeah, definitely a lot of sand.
Lots of sand.
I wonder what the cumulative coastline is.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to see. Patrick, my husband went to the first Asian Championships. It was a BULA event 10 years ago in 2009 in Boracay in the Philippines. Philippines has done a lot for beach ultimate worldwide as well. So here Singapore is going to try. That was a very nice pull. I want to put on the strongest pressure possible to try and get that break. But Philippines is moving the disc very nicely down the field. And a travel was called. So travel, for those of you who are not familiar with the term, means that you've basically moved your pivot foot. Nice moving in the disc again. A little too far. There we go for Singapore.
Yeah, momentum swinging in the way of the Singapore team, and it's quite a lot of their nations here. There's I think the Singapore men's team now at the fields cheering on their female compatriots.
Sometimes that makes all the difference. We saw it yesterday with Guam. Disc comes back into play, straight in the middle of the field. Oh, a high disc immediately taken down by the Philippines. And again, beautiful defense. Singapore's back. Nice movement, looking for that. What a nicely put disc. She just stopped running for it just before she realized it was coming off to her. And the Philippines gets it back in the play, but have to move it all the way up the field. Nice defense attempt. Lots of support on the sideline, lots of excitement. Christine looking for, oh, I'm not sure about, she caught that between the belly of the defense. What's the rule on that one, Liam? It's up, it's up.
I think it's up. I don't think there's gonna be any call. It was an unusual way of catching the disc.
It is. I mean, I think she was catching it and the defense came into it, so it just ended up getting waffled, burgered into that defensive player's belly, but it definitely did not touch the sand.
Yeah, using two hands and one belly to catch that one.
I'll quickly resolve this, putting the disc back into play for the Philippines. Let's see if Christine can bring that one down, and we see Christine doing a great layout and adjusting to that disc and bringing it down. Experience, height, and great read. 6-5 for the Philippines.
A great release valve for this Filipino team. Christine Marie Absen CM, as she's affectionately known. Or sorry, that is, yeah, Christine Klotz, sorry, who played with the women's masters team before, yeah. By far the tallest player on the field.
But yes, it's definitely on my bucket list, Liam, to go play some beach ultimate in the Philippines. I have to make sure I do that before my old aging legs don't allow me to do it. Especially looking at these girls. They're fast on the sand. And when we see it by the results of the Filipino teams, they're undefeated because they're just really quick on sand. They're very fit. They train very hard as well. I mean, kudos to them. They've had some... it's also a global affair when it comes to beach ultimate in the Philippines. A lot of American players, Australian players, and players from all over the world go to the Philippines to train with them because they also learn a lot from them. I know at least I can think of 3 or 4 in my head. Here we go. Oh, that was almost a drop pull. So that was halftime. That is a beautiful full-length throw by the Philippines. Fantastic throw, fantastic run. Talk about making it look easy.
And that was a buttery biscuit, folks. Incredible goal. I'm sure everyone in Manila is cheering on, the capital city of the Philippines. Also down in maybe Casa Pilar. If you're watching, let us know on the live stream. Perhaps people watching in Singapore as well, known as one of the cleanest cities in the world. They'll be looking for some clean offense here to answer back to that beautiful Filipino goal.
So that was the first point after half. So there's been some long points in the first half of the game. And Singapore desperately needs this point and then to break. As time is getting on and the Philippine ladies are getting energized by some great plays. Nice handler movement. Oh, I think bit of contact there. I think
good use of hand signals there, making a V in the air, signaling for a violation. Also a closed fist is important.
it is
Getting
important.
those acute angles right as well.
Great D. Oh, saves the D. I'm not completely understanding. Not completely understanding why the disc went back. Maybe a pick was called.
I think they're signaling there was a foul. Maybe it was a foul downfield before the throw.
Oh, it would have had to because a foul on the throw. There we go. Disc goes off. Nice catch. Pretty movement of the disc down the line. Back to the center, looking for that receiver forward. And again, I'm not clear on what happened, but some call happened.
Yeah, it looked like Melissa Lim was going to throw a flick there, the lefty player, and the Filipino player running through maybe unintentionally caused the foul, which
hit her arm. Yeah, that's definitely.
all fouls, presumably unintentional in our sport.
Yeah, one of the nice things to see as I look is the actually both of these teams are, and we had an opportunity to hang out with one of the Korean players yesterday, are from Korea and from the Philippines. Oh, that was another great defense.
Great
Ho
with an incredible
defense. She's just been amazing this game.
Yeah, mostly known for handling skills, but great defense.
She's done great. She's done great everything. She's taking her time to catch her breath to make sure to conserve that greatness. Good movement of the disc. Very nice movement of the disc. Needing somebody for the continuation. pretty. Oh, well done. Well done for Singapore.
Some with the goal, speeding down the line. No one could keep up with it. That was a fantastic goal. And you know, in the start of this game, we had a lot of messy points, a lot of turnovers. Not as in the business end of this game. They've really cleaned up their offenses, both teams. Everyone is pumped up and ready to go.
Yes, we've definitely not seen any more of those wobbly drops. That's great to see. Throws have been wonderful too. That was a fantastic goal by Singapore. Let's see if they can get the break now. For the first time today, we're also seeing some serious sun on this beautiful Shirahama beach. Last game in pool play in the women's divisions. We have 6 teams in this division. Tell us about these teams, Liam.
Yeah, as I said, no team from the Philippines have lost a game just yet. Singapore really coming on leaps and bounds in Beach Ultimate. A lot to do with J-Lo, actually a Filipino player, now living there, trying to promote and grow the sport of Beach Ultimate into Singapore, and he's done a great job. Also, shout out to Hoi Fang, one of the coaches, doing a lot of work as well.
Oh, that's a bit of a... I think she was hoping for that cut. It just wasn't there. It's an important point for Singapore to get this. Nicely played. Well worked by the girls, just grinding down that sand. The sand is quite soft. They're doing a great job getting open from this really quick Filipino defense. Not much forward, keeping it between the handlers, not many cuts going on forward. There we go, there's some cutting going on. Nice playing, nice patience, and like you said, great execution, Liam. This is great to see. Oh, save that disc. That was great play, and right on the end zone line. Looking for the pass, putting something up in the air that we're not sure.
Yeah, I don't think that was the right option. After all that hard work and grind, kind of forced that throw in the end zone. It ballooned up in the air, and incredible D by Jane yet again.
Yes, and I think he got tricked by the two receivers there. Hoping it looked like a bit of a... Here we go, here's the long. Something called again.
There's an injury called.
Injury called.
Players putting their hands on the back of their head,
heads,
elbows
right.
out. Mean injury, and play stops instantly when an injury is called. So that hook that was ended up being a turnover would not count. So this will go back to the thrower. Everyone will stop playing at that stage as well.
Waiting for the disc to go back. The injured player goes off the field, and the other team has a chance also to substitute if needed.
Akira Yamaguchi getting his first throw of the game there, folks. One of the coaches of his Filipino team getting on the field. He's still got it, folks.
He's got it. He did a nice... Another stoppage. Couple of stoppages, game's back into play. Great defense. Great defense. Okay. Singapore's back in possession of the disc. Putting 3, 4 in the end zone? No, someone's coming back. 3 in the end zone? No, 2 in the end zone.
It's going to be up to Jermaine Lee to marshal this
That's
D-line
right.
offense.
Looking for that cut. Isolating. Nice D and nice O. Good patience. Keep that disc swinging back and forth until you get the opportunity to put it forward. Nice. Nice patience by Singapore. just safely keeping possession of that disc. And the nice D.
And that's so unlike Thumb. She had that shot. It was almost too easy. Didn't concentrate with that flick, the left-handed player, and it goes into the turf, and a timeout has been called by Philippines.
And we can hear them saying 1 timeout per game. Philippines now moving the disc. Can she get there? It was a very nice, it was a nice throw. Just needed to float a microsecond longer. Singapore has a chance to get it back. This would be such a well-deserved point. They've done such a great job on Owen. A couple of times have turned it over in the end zone after doing some beautiful, beautiful safe passing between them. Nice movement of disc up the line. Centering it, isolated in the end zone, and there we go. That was a very pretty pass.
We're all tied up here, folks. Thumb gets the goal this time, and they're pumped up, the Singapore players, and they should be. This is a great fight back after being 2 points down at one stage. They're all level again.
Amazing, how exciting. You can hear the screaming and the excitement on the sideline, not only by the Philippine and the Singapore squads, but by just everybody. What an exciting game. This is great. See the Singapore men's team on the stands. 1 more point.
So we'll be Tham going back out there, Tom, after scoring that goal to tie it up. Fiona Pang will be on the field to take this pull.
You can hear the defense support and the offense support as the Philippine girls take the disc, play between the handlers, waiting for a cut. See, the defense is fantastic by the Singapore girls, moving the disc up the field, getting that handler disc so far, and there's a long put to Christine. Oh, and she just didn't manage to get it this time after doing some amazing catches. This one was just slightly too far. Later on in the game, Singapore has a chance now to score the 8th point and be in the lead for the first time in this game. Oh my God, Liam, this is so exciting. I'm like jumping in my chair here.
So I can confirm this is universe point. So Singapore have the chance to win and go in front for the first time this game.
Universe point. It is universe point. Game to 8. Singapore girls looking to win this.
Injury, I think, maybe called there by the Filipino player. I think if it is an injury, she would have to come off the field.
That's right.
I don't think she wants to, though.
According to the WFDF rules, injury now has to come off the field, but maybe it was an injury. Oh.
But it's up to the players themselves to decide. I think they're now saying that
maybe it wasn't an injury. We don't know exactly what's going on.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of contact. She actually came out in a poach to try and get that D on Thumb. Didn't get there. There was a little bit of contact.
I think she got hit in the back, from what I understand, or at least from what I see by the communication between the players with the hand signals with each other.
But I think she just stopped playing because she was maybe a little bit hurt. I'm not sure if she actually called anything. But
oh my
confused
goodness,
as what's going to
Liam.
happen I think what should happen is if she called injury, she's come off the field and play has to go back to when she called injury. Now, however, maybe she didn't call injury and just kind of hesitated with her face, and the other player stopped in concern about her, in which case she wouldn't have to come off the field.
That's right. That's exactly what could have happened.
So I think
So
it's fair
now
for
they're discussing whether it was a foul. Well, let's put the disc back in play. Everybody gets a chance to take a deep breath. I'm sure Philippine, it wants to put on the tightest D and get this disc back, and Singapore score the winning point. Universe point, double dab, perfect. We were talking about the hand signals for a universe point.
I think Emily Wong coming onto the field to discuss what happened.
Sometimes I think there is a limit in time and stoppage, but it is increased when there is needed some translation because of language.
Or when it's universe point. People, there's a lot on the line.
There is a lot on the line. Couple of stoppages this point we've seen.
Yeah, and if you're Singapore, you don't really want to be having this killing your flow on offense now. It's a very long break of play.
Okay, retracted something from what I see from the hand signals. We still haven't understood. All good. See some thumbs up going on, retracted.
So it was a retracted foul call. Yeah, I don't see how it was a foul. It was actually her who poached off to try and get the play, so.
Just coming back into play for Singapore. Go, go, go.
And Tom scores to win the game.
Oh my God, what an amazing leading pass into the end zone. Singapore, who's been down the whole game, manages to win this in universe point. Well done, both teams. Excellent plays, excellent game. And now we have 3 teams with 1 loss. Singapore 1, Philippines the first loss for any of the Filipino squads in this tournament, and Japan, who lost to Philippines. This will be a very interesting.
I'm pretty sure Philippines are actually still going to top the group, given that they only lost by 1. They only lost. The other teams, I believe, maybe losing by 2.
They beat Japan 11-7.
Yeah, so they're going to have the best plus minus in that 3-way tie. So they're going to finish top nonetheless, but a huge victory for Singapore. That's the first loss for Philippines in any division at this tournament.
And you look and see how wonderful they're cheering each other. It started with high fives and it's now big hugs. What a wonderful. Both teams are happy to have had the opportunity to play. As I've heard somebody say from Portugal, that the adversary is your friend who plays on the other side, and this is exactly what this game is showcasing. What a game of Beach Ultimate. Looking forward to the rest of the day. Signing off. Hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Sophia Pereira.
And I'm Liam Grant, and thanks for watching.